Welcome everybody, Mentor Monday here, Mentor Monday for Ambassadors in Motion. And today is March 27, 2023. What a great topic. I chose my background as brand you, because who doesn't need to align and know their brand? Do you know your brand? Do you know what you represent? So this has been a great month. We're closing with a special guest speaker, very experienced and wonderful coach, Melanie Morales. She is a professional branding coach. So she's going to give us her Instagram so you can follow her, because she puts a lot of tips that will be very helpful. She's actually a coach of coaches. And another thing she does, and that Gabby's going to love, is that she'll tell us more at the end, but she is a supporter of the Latino community in Tampa, Latino women community. And so she's running a lot of programs for the woman in Tampa, for business entrepreneur women. And so she is a specialist in artificial intelligence. And so again, she can tell us a little bit that in when she's doing her intro, because we do. But most importantly, like I said before, she's all about brand. She's all about how do you reflect yourself out there. And I told her to make it a little more specific for us as network marketers, because this is where we get a little bit confused sometimes, and we forget what we are, which is network marketers. So with that, I'm going to give the microphone to Melanie. So Mel, welcome everybody. Hands.
Hi, everybody. Hello. Can everyone hear me? Can you hear me nice and clear?
Nice and clear.
Awesome. Well, it's an honor and it's a pleasure to be here with all of you today. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to hop on and learn and invest in yourself, right? Everything that you're giving, like today, you're here giving your time, and the giver that gives is one that receives. So I want you to keep that in mind as you take time for yourself, take time for your business, to really like sink back. And like Claudia said, be present here in this moment. And if you're at work, that's awesome. We're super happy to have you here. If you're driving, be careful on the road, but thank you for taking the time to be here with us and here with me today. And it's an honor. So just to give you a little bit of background on how I know Claudia is actually my aunt. So we have a very close relationship. And I've seen Claudia grow in so many ways, and it is an honor to be here with everyone here at For Life, because For Life is extraordinarily close to my heart. I use the products every single day. Quite literally, my entire skincare routine consists of the Omni, and I love the products. I've been using them quite literally, I think, close to 10 years. So needless to say, this is a For Lifer for life, and it's an honor to talk all about your brand and how we're going to be able to really create the most magnetic brand for you. And before we start off, the first thing is really shifting our mindset, right? I've been in business now as an entrepreneur for just over 2 years. I left my corporate job. I'm going to get into my story in just a little bit. But some of the things that really have taken me to the next level in my business has truly been around mindset. And mindset is most likely the biggest thing that will shift your personal brand. This is going to take you to the next level. This is going to take your brand from feeling like you don't know what you're talking about, or maybe feeling a little bit shy, or maybe feeling like, you don't want to bother people, to truly being able to get clarity on where you're going, so you can share that clarity with others, not only through what you're saying, but also through your energy, how you're showing up in your content, how you're showing up with your customers and clients each and every single day. So I'm going to actually share my screen here with some reframes. And I always start with my personal clients on shifting our mindset before we dive into talking anything else. And I want to share with you some 10 common struggles that we all can have as entrepreneurs, as business owners. Even if we're building For Life part-time, these are things that may come up. And the first one is fear of failure. Fear of failure. And who here today has dealt with failure? I know I have. I have failed so many times in my life. And before I looked at failure as something very negative, as something that, I victimized myself as, it marked me in a negative way. And today I celebrate failure. I celebrate it because I know that there is always more with failure. Failure is abundance, everybody. And I want you to just think about that for a moment. Failure can be abundance. There is more in failing. More failing equals more repetition, more opportunities for us to improve. With more repetition, more reps, we have more progress. With more progress, what comes next? Momentum. With momentum, we get more results, right? We get to refine it and you get to redefine what failure means to you. So today I choose to look at failure as abundance. So today, I want you to take that away. If you're dealing with failure today, if you're feeling like, I just got off a call and the person turned me down, you know what? That's amazing because there's more. There's going to be so much more coming. There's more opportunity for you to continue to improve and get clear on your message. So here, don't look around, look inside. So if you're dealing with imposter syndrome, if you're like, who am I to be talking about For Life, or who am I to be talking about this product? Maybe you started using the product recently, or maybe you're newer to For Life, or maybe you've been with For Life for quite a long time, but you're still feeling that imposter syndrome of, will they listen to me? Maybe, I don't know all that much about health. I'm in an administrative career. I'm not really sure if the person's going to take me seriously, right? So that can be some feelings of imposter syndrome coming up. So I want you to take a moment to just redefine that as well. Don't look around. Don't look around even with the people in this room. Don't compare yourself with people who are your counterparts, people who are even on your team, because your path is completely different than theirs. Your story, which we're going to be touching on, is completely different than theirs. So don't look around, look inside and dig into the truth that you are enough, right? You are enough. You are your brand's special secret sauce. And we're going to dive into that. And we're going to dive into also play. And I love what Gabby talked about with the products at the beginning of this call, which was, let's get creative. Gabby, I commend you for getting creative and also creating these things for your own brand, for your own samples and products, and doing something a little bit different and stepping out of your comfort zone, maybe with taking the time to do this and having fun with it. And now Gabby's going to be able to share all of that with you. So when we feel like maybe we're stuck in our business or things just feel repetitive and maybe we just don't feel creative, I want you to take a moment and I give you permission to stop being an adult. Stop being an adult for a moment. Even if you are the most adults and the most responsible adults, which you all are, just stop adulting, which is the best. And you get to have fun. You get to have fun in your business because ultimately you choose how you want to look at your business. You don't get to just have to sell or call or be, you get to quite literally play and have fun. So close your eyes, let your imagination run and visualize your castle. Visualize that next level you, which is coming up. Another struggle is getting clear on your why. And we're going to be defining that on today's message today, which is getting back to your why, writing it out, defining it, and allowing yourself to really focus on what I call the white line in the fog. Because eventually fog clears. Eventually the fog dissipates. It goes away and you're able to get clear on your message. And then lack of direction. Sometimes it's something that holds us back. So finding a mentor with a map. You all are here with the most incredible mentors. This is such a beautiful time for you and your ability to connect with other incredible human beings who are on this call right now. Reach out to your mentors, talk to them, let them know if you're struggling, but find a mentor with a map, which is here. Connect the dots to map your treasure. Know what you want and start now. And that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and pause there. I will leave you with this one. If you're not feeling motivated today, I want you to stop at some point today and go take a cold shower. It will motivate you, I promise. If you jump in a cold shower, it will make you feel alive. Write down what's stopping you today from creating your brand, or maybe going online, or maybe hitting play or record on a video, and then fact check your answers. See if it's real, see if it's true. And most of the time you will realize that it's not. So I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing my screen, and we're gonna dive right in, which is today's title, and today's message really is your most magnetic brand, which is you. And so often, and I've talked extensively about this with Claudia, with other people who are in the business, who feel like maybe we don't really know how to define our brand. We don't really know how to, as network marketing experts and professionals, how to define what we do, how we show up online, and how we are essentially, what perception we give to others while we're talking about the business and the products themselves. So I want you to go ahead and take a weight off your shoulders and trying to figure out why or what it is, because I'm here to tell you that your brand and the most magnetic thing that you have is yourself. You are your brand. You get to show up not only as Gabby or Claudia or Adriana or Michael or any of these, labels that we put on ourselves, but truly you as a person, your essence, how you're showing up in this world is your brand. And one of the biggest things that I teach and talk about is what is branding. There's actually very many definitions of what branding is, and everyone can tell you something different because branding is pretty complex in and of itself. But at the end of the day, branding to me is an emotion that people feel when they walk away or when they're talking to us. And people feel that emotion subconsciously, whether they realize it or not, whether you realize it or not, people are feeling exactly what you're sharing with them. And so that magnetic self is your brand. So today, we're going to be diving into one of the most important topics within branding. Branding, like I said, is extremely complex. At the end of this call, I'm actually going to be giving away a freebie, which is a very simple, what I call build your brand in one day sheet, which quite literally walks you through all my years of working with people one-on-one, coaching them on how to build their brand. Basically the most important and essential things to get your brand started today. If you haven't done it, it's gonna take you about 2 hours on your own time to be able to go through, but I promise you it's worth it to get clarity of you, of your brand. So we're gonna dive into your brand story. We're gonna also dive into putting your brand story together. So I don't know exactly where you are, but if you have the opportunity to start writing down, I would love for you to get a piece of paper. If you're taking notes right now, please go ahead and take that out. All right. And give me 1 second, here we go. All right, so it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to meet you. And I'm here to share with you my brand story and how I got started. So at 24 years old, I jumped on a plane with $263 in my pocket, Canadian dollars that is, to restart my life after leaving a very toxic relationship. I had no idea what I wanted to do to become successful and rebuild my life. I felt like a failure. At the time, a lot of my friends actually were already married and getting ready to plan a family at a quite young age. But I moved back home to a small town, which I felt had very little opportunities because it's more of a rural area in Florida. So what did I do? I browsed jobs online and I found a social media position opening at the largest equine center in Florida. And it just so happened to be 5 minutes away from my house. So I went in, I applied, and ultimately, quite literally, I walked in with a resume and I said, I want to work here. I will literally do the job for free for a week and let you decide. They said, no, we're going to pay you and we would love to have you. So I got the job just like that. I was terrified, shaking going in, but I knew that if I was going to take a moment to really take a leap, right? Restart, rebuild something, retransform and renew my life, I was going to have to take some risks. So it was clear. I found my passion while I was at this job, which was taking photos, writing, designing graphics. This opportunity led me to quite literally rebrand the clinic's entire website and brand and communications program for them. So at the same time, we were growing on social media. We quadrupled the numbers of followers in just a few months. And that ability to create, right? Failing a lot created momentum. And through that, I healed. It healed me. And so my mother, who is on this call, she encouraged me to start taking clients on the side as she saw that I had passion for the marketing space. And in a couple of years, I would quite literally rebrand myself twice and start taking clients on the side, and also brand myself into the artificial intelligence industry, which I won't be touching on a ton on this call. That will have to be for another call, but quite literally 4 years ago, I jumped into artificial intelligence before most people knew about it. And today I help companies and consult companies as well on building their AI back end and also how to market through that. So a lot of cool stuff happening on that front. But 5 years later, I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I focus all on personal brand marketing and also artificial intelligence. So what I learned in these last 5 years is that we as brands, right, you and I, right here, we can change, we can transform, and we can impact that version of ourselves that we want to be, right? And that spark, again, that special essence, which is you, carries into your brand. So here is to you taking your journey and your brand to that next level. So the moment that you begin to see impact, even as a network marketer, okay, because I've talked to many people who have quite literally said this to me, who have gone into network marketing, which is going back to what I just talked about, you. Sometimes people don't know exactly what it is you have going on. Sometimes people are like, what is this for life product? What do you have to offer about the immune system? Can I go get it at Walgreens, or can I get it at CVS, or can I get it at a pharmacy? What is this, right? Most people might not actually know what you are offering, right? And the greatest thing about network marketing is that you get to impact many people in different ways. You get to impact people through the product if they want to become customers. You get to impact people if they want to join the team and build a business with you and leave a legacy for your family through that way, right? So there's so many opportunities, but one of the most special moments that can come from your branding and getting super clear on who you are and what you're offering and having confidence in what you're offering is that people will be attracted to you, whether they know what you are selling or offering or sharing or not. And I've seen it time and time again where it's like, I don't really know what they're doing or what they're offering, but I just like them. I just like them as a person. I want to be on their team for whatever that they're doing, because I see that they're growing as people. I see that they're moving, they're making impact, they're serving people, right? They're serving people, they're giving their time, they're giving their energy. And that, my friends, is super, super magnetic. That's magnetic because people are seeing themselves, right? That version of you that you are showing up as and becoming, they're seeing themselves as that version of you. And that magnetizes people to you, whether they're customers or whether they want to join the business, because you are also becoming a leader and they also want to follow that path. So many times, and I'm just sharing a simple message I recently got, but when you get your brand messaging on point, when you're able to share ultimately the underlying story, people read it and they feel it. So somebody recently said to me, when I went onto your IG, I knew from that moment and read your content, I don't care how much it costs, I'm going to work with her, right? And that's the moment where I didn't do anything. When I jumped on the call with this person, they were already sold before I had to say anything. And that is the power of magnetizing through your brand, through you, right? You are your brand, that your brand gets to quite literally be a network marketer for you. It gets to work 24/7 without you having to quite literally be there all the time. And that takes place through your content. That takes place through your messaging, through how you're approaching people with what you're saying to people online and also offline. But people will quite literally be sold before they are able to even understand what you're talking about. Once you share your offering, that's a whole nother thing. Now they have a clear path and roadmap of what they can achieve with you and what value they can get with working with you. And also whether it's a product, what health benefits they're able to gain, or whether it's the business, how they can start making income on the side as well. So again, this is so important because it quite literally will work for you in your sleep. So the first things first, I don't know if you've done it, and if maybe you've done it before, take a moment to review it. But we're going to be diving into your brand story and crafting it together, because this right here has quite literally helped me get clients who have paid me a lot of money to be able to jump on a call with them and they tell me they want to work with me because I already had the brand story down. I was able to relate the message that I understand you and I'm here for you and I'm here to serve you. So today we are going to be diving into brand story as a network marketer here with For Life. So first things first, grab your pen and paper here. So we want to go ahead and start with purpose. Number one, purpose can be overlooked. And as we dive in and we're shaping our story, I want you to start with intention. And I want you to ask yourself and really remind yourself right now in this moment, why did you decide to start with For Life, in this For Life? So what does For Life mean to you, right? What does it mean? And so often we get caught up in showing up to meetings and, you know, I'm just checking off one more thing on my list. I showed up to the meeting. Now I get to close my computer or keep going about my day and I'll show up, you know, next week. But I want you to go back to the why. Why are you doing this? Like truly, why did you start? And who are you doing it for? Is it for yourself? Is it maybe for your children? Is it for your family? Maybe you started because you started taking the products and the products changed your life. And because they changed your life, now you want to share that with others. So first things first, getting back to your why. So take a moment and write down, why did you start? Why did you start For Life? And who are you doing it for? And how are you going to implement purpose into your life? Because this goes beyond money. This goes beyond money because money is not the end all be all. You get to attract money in abundance into your life after the fact that you're giving and sharing, right? You're sharing opportunities, you're helping others. If you help others, you will be abundantly wealthy. And so you get to help others, you get to give. So focus on that. How are you going to implement purpose into your life? What are you going to do right now, even with this time that you're learning? Why are you here? Why are you here with me? What are you learning? I want you to take a moment and go back to purpose. And I'll pause here for just 1 minute and we'll continue on. All right. And I want you to go back after this call and this recording and take time to go back and maybe get quiet with yourself. Find a quiet moment, even if it's 5:30 a.m. before the kids have woken up, or maybe before, going to bed tonight, and come back to your why again. And know we talk about it a lot in business, but it can be overlooked. So start with that. Start with the end in mind. And one thing we're going to do next, which is after purpose, is establishing your manifesto. And one thing that I work a lot with brands and people, and even within marketing space, is creating a mission, vision, values, right? These are brand foundations. But one of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself, right, because your brand is you, is writing your own manifesto. And a manifesto is a declaration. It's a declaration to yourself. It's a promise with yourself or your higher power that you are you. You are who you say you are, and you are moving into that direction of your higher self, because he, she, or they are here. They have arrived. They're here in this moment with you, and you get to create that declaration that I am stepping and I'm choosing to step into that version of me, that has everything I want, which is here. It's here now. So I'm going to share a manifesto with you. This is my manifesto. I read it at least once a week. I don't read it every day, if I'm being completely honest with you, but I go back to it at least once a week to remind myself on a Sunday, again, why I'm here and showing up, right? Going back to your why. So I'm going to share mine with you, and I hope that this inspires you today to write your own, right? For you, for Claudia, for Michael, for Gabby, for anyone out here, right, who may not be clear on why they are here and how they're sharing their story with For Life, to be able to do that. So here's mine. So I want to help. I'm here to serve the world with my heart and soul in this temporary land, this temporary breath, this temporary body and mind. It is but for a moment that we are here. It is a fleeting gift that we all share, humanity. Stand up. Here is your call to live with love. You are here for a reason. You are not made by accident. My heart is here to serve. At the core of it all, it is my desire to love and inspire the broken, the lost, those who feel unloved. Let's light our fire, that inner desire, that inner love placed so deliberately, so ever carefully within us. I want to serve people. I want to help them discover their wings again. I want to help them breathe again. I want to help them discover their gifts and life's purpose. I want to help them to step into their God-given strength and shake the world. I want to help people live in their zone of genius, to live a life of flow and clarity. I want to help people leave a legacy for their families, for generations to come. I want to help people overcome their doubts, to rise up, rise up. You are here. It is your time to rise. It is your time to be you, be you, be beautiful you. These things you cannot ignore inside of you, rise. This is my brand story. So this is my why. I'm here to serve. I'm here to ultimately to serve. And I go back to this week by week as I start the week. But again, take a moment after you've established your purpose to take, it doesn't have to be like mine. Again, look inside, don't look around. Go to what feels most natural to you. What is going to be your manifesto? And take a moment today or tonight to write it down. And now we're going to dive into your story, which is one of my favorite parts. So every story has your problem or challenge. It has internal struggles. It has external struggles. It has a spark event, is what I call it. what that spark was, who was your guide, and what was the result. So these themes, these 7 things in the story, quite literally make up most stories that we can read about today, or even in movies, but I've just summarized it here in these 7 points. So we have these things. I want you to go ahead and start with the first one. So uncovering your brand story, your problem or challenge. Take a moment.
Melanie, we're still saying, Melanie, 1 second, please. We're still in number 7. Are you, there you go.
There we
Now
go.
we're-
Sorry, everyone.
But it jumped, I just want to stop you there for 1 second. It jumped from 7 to 12. So I'm not sure if we missed while were you reading your manifesto and showing us something? Because we were in 7. And now we're in, we didn't see these. So I don't know if, okay, so you were reading it. Okay, so it wasn't going, so we didn't see that one. Let me see number 8 for a second, because we were stuck at 7, but I didn't want to interrupt you. Okay, you read that, and then you read your manifesto. So you read, but we were not seeing it though. Number 8. That's what you read. It was good. We all got into it, but we didn't really read it. And that's where we are. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Mel.
Thank you for pausing me for a moment. Thank you. So, yes, what would I do without Claudia? My goodness. So every story has these 7 elements, right? So first one we're going to work on today, right? I want it to be interactive. Start writing it down. What is your problem or challenge, right? In part of your story. And I know this can maybe seem maybe a little daunting. It's quite a question to start off by asking, what is your problem or challenge? We all have so many stories. I actually, quite literally, to share with you, I have 2 brand stories, right? Because I have that essentially 2 focuses in my business. And I target the individual, the coach, and then I also target businesses. So to share with you, I quite literally have 2 brand stories. And I say that to you now because I want you to think about all the stories that you have in your life. You have so many stories to share. But today I want you to pick one story, okay? One story that ties back to your why you started with For Life. What brought you here today? What brought you to For Life, right? Was it health? Was it quite literally that you one day woke up and you went to work and you're like, I can't do this anymore. I'm tired of punching in. I think I want something different. And you just didn't know what different was, right? So that could be a problem. That could be your challenge. Was it maybe that you were in a transition in life, that you maybe were on maternity leave and you quite literally had your baby, and now it was either choosing spending time with your family or choosing your career. And then you realized, wait a second, I don't want to have to pick. And that is a challenge, right? That is a problem. So I want you to go back to that moment that you had that initial struggle that brought you here today to be here with For Life. So think about it, and we'll have some time at the end for questions, but for now, just to be mindful of your time, write down your problem. All right. And then talking about our internal struggles, right? So what was the moment in the story, your story, that you quite literally said, something has got to change? And maybe this internal struggle for you looked like, okay, you had your problem and challenge. Maybe you know, I'm going to just use an example here. So maybe you quite literally were on maternity leave and you didn't want to have to choose whether you're going to pick a career or your family. And internally, you knew, right? Your internal struggle was that you couldn't make ends meet if you decided not to go back to work. So you were struggling with the fact of, I want to be present for my family and I can't. I have to go to work to make ends meet. So you're struggling internally, right? There's a moment of something has got to change and I just don't know what it is yet. So write those emotions, what that feels like. Go back to that moment, right? Go back, take a moment, right? We're going through this pretty quickly, but again, I really, really would love for you to go back later today or tonight to review this. So write down what that looked like, what that emotional state was like. Were you feeling anxious? Were you nervous? Were you scared? Maybe I'm just going to use another example. Maybe you were on a date with someone that you loved, and quite literally, you were just hoping that they wouldn't pick the most expensive thing on the menu, so your card wouldn't decline. And there was a moment of just angst, and you were like, I love this person, I want to be able to provide for them, but I can't, right? So different moments for different people, different stories. But again, what is that story for you? External struggle. Take a moment. Let me go back. I think this is actually out of order here. One moment, everybody. We'll go back to here. To your external struggles. So external struggle, what did that look like for you, right? So external struggle is anything that you quite literally can't change in that moment, but you're looking to change. So again, it goes back to that external of, I am now a mother, and I cannot quite literally leave my family or choose a job. And the external struggle is that rent is due and I have to pay rent, or I have to make these bills, or I have to pay off this credit card that I need to pay off. So what is that external struggle, and what does that look like for you? Was it maybe creditors calling you? Was it something else? Was it pressure from the outside? What did that look like for you? And then what was your spark event, which is what I call it? What was your spark event? So what happened in the moment that everything started to change? Maybe it was that you were taking the product and quite literally you started feeling better. You started feeling good. And you're like, wait a second, nothing else has worked quite well. And suddenly this product works. What is this for life? This is amazing. Okay, I feel better. I feel healthier. I don't know what it is, but I love how I'm feeling. And then that moment of what was the spark? The moment you decided to change, right? So you had that spark event. And what was the spark? You decided to take the leap to get there. So maybe this looked like quite literally you lost 10 pounds, right? Using For Life products. And you said, I feel amazing. Like, I need to learn more about this business so I can share it with others. And you decided to call your leader, your upline, essentially, and say, hey, I think I'm right. I think I might be ready for this. So what was that spark, and who was your guide? So this is one of the coolest parts. What is your guide? So a guide, if we think about in stories, looks different for everybody. A guide can be somebody that comes along. It can be a person. It can be a mentor. Maybe it's your upline and they have been calling you. You've been ignoring their calls, or maybe you've just seen their messages, but they've been calling you every day. And you're like, let me take a moment. And they come into your story and they said, I'm here for you and I'm ready to see you grow. I would love to help you. And that person becomes your guide. Or maybe your guide was somebody that you started following online. Maybe it was a mentor or someone that you looked up to, right? Maybe it was somebody here that inspired you to change, to quite literally take action on whatever it is that you're doing. Who was your guide? And then lastly, what was the result? So what was the result of doing this, right? In my story, tying it back to me for one moment, it was truly that I discovered what I loved. I discovered that I loved marketing, I loved branding, and I was able to then take my knowledge and share it with other companies and grow a business in doing something that I absolutely loved. So that was my result. And now I get to impact people and serve people through that. So going back to your story, so what was your result? And this can be, your result is happening now, right? And I'm talking about it as the law of assumption. It's already happened. It's already here. Like your result is already here. You're already at the point that you want. So what was the result? You are building something that can be left for generations to come. It is something that's going to impact your children's children, right? I'm going to share right now just part of even my mom's story. So my mom's story, I'm going to take it through all of these, right? So her problem and challenge, so maybe it was, I might forget, but I think it was 15 years ago. 15 years ago was that she was a mom with 3 kids, and she quite literally wanted to work, but she couldn't work, right? My dad was working full time. He brought home most of the income, but she wanted to be able to support the family too. She wanted to be able to take her kids to the store, me, and if I said, Mom, I would love that, she wanted to be able to say, no problem, sweetie. We'll get it for you today. Or maybe we'll get it tomorrow, but we'll get it. And that moment, right, caused her change. So she knew something needed to change. Her internal struggle was that she wanted to feel like she was going to impact her children, right? During this time of her life, she started reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. She started investing herself as a mom of 3 kids. And she was busy with us, taking us everywhere. And the external struggle was that she was busy. She was busy and she didn't have money. We were still building a business. We're immigrants to this country, right? So she was building from the ground up with my dad, rebuilding their life here in the States. And the spark event was that she said, I want to be able to look at my children and quite literally give them the world, right? So what was the spark in that moment? She decided to take action. She decided to take action for not only herself, but for her children, right? She went back to her purpose, which she'll tell you today, still today, her purpose is to impact her generations to come. And then who was the guide? So the guide was quite literally an incredible friend that came into her life and told her about For Life. And she didn't know at the time, but she was open to the idea because she knew she needed a different way, right? She needed an opportunity and she didn't have the vehicle, right? Sometimes we can have the skills, we can have the mindset. She was already working on her mindset, reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. She was learning about concepts of personal development with Jim Rohn at the time. She was diving into these things. And what comes next is the opportunity. It's the vehicle, right? So she was able to connect with somebody that shared the vehicle with her, which in this case was For Life. And that became her guide, this person. And what was the result? The result is that I'm here today talking to you all. That's the result. That's a pretty awesome result. That one moment, right, of problem, challenge, internal struggle. I need to do something. I need to find something. I need to do something for my children and their future. Caused all of this, right, this compound effect. So where her sister is here today and she's in the business and she's doing incredible, incredible things impacting with For Life. And I'm here today talking to you. I've been taking the product, massive fan. I consider myself a For Life influencer. And it all started with her taking a moment to find the problem, and the opportunity came. So that is her story. And so I want you to really think about this story as not just right now, but your story for the future, right? Could you have dreamed, I'm talking to my mom, that your daughter would be here today? I think it was 15 years ago, talking about this. Probably not, but she did have the intention, right? So I want you to start with the end in mind. of what is your story and what's going to be your results. You get to control that. So that's it, friends. That is uncovering your brand story. And I want to take a moment to just look at the time. So it's 1:55. I have so much more to talk about in regards to branding and diving into your mission statement and quite literally everything there is about branding. But I really wanted to take a moment today to talk about your story and how you can be the most magnetic part of your brand. You can take the weight off your shoulders, okay? And I'm giving you permission as someone looking in to take off the weight of having to feel like you don't know how to brand yourself in this business, because the business is you. You are your brand. Everything that you post online, how you show up in this world can be felt. It can make a difference in somebody's life. So you are ultimately your brand, and you get to create that today. You get to go online. You get to be and be your future self, the person who shows up online, who is, being creative, who's taking the time in their business to do the things, not only to work in the business or work on the business, but to create impact, right? And I'm going to leave this with you today. This is my cheat sheet, is what I call it. And I'm going to be sending this out to everybody here on the team. It is my branding foundations cheat sheet. It is quite literally what I run through with clients and charge a lot of money to do, to be able to whittle down what the problem is, what the target audience is, and really get down to the nitty-gritty of things. I'm going to be sharing this with a video, right? A video tutorial. I'm going to give this away for free. So I want to be able to leave you with something tangible, something actionable. I'm super big on taking action. I don't want you to just leave today and feel like, oh, that was nice. She shared how to write our story. No, this goes so much further than that. This goes to, now that you have listened to this call, you get to take action. You get to do something today, whether it's writing down your story, whether it's showing up online, right? And take action. So I'm going to leave this copy with Claudia and Gabby. And this is going to be quite literally the beginning of your brand foundations if you haven't done it. And I'm going to be making a video on how to go about it. And it's going to be about half an hour. But this process, again, has taken years to refine. And I want you to have grace with yourself too, because it's a lot. And maybe you all are in different careers that have brought you to For Life, but you're here now and you get to make an impact with your brand, your story, which is going to magnetize people to you. And people will show up to connect with you and say, I don't know what it is that you're doing. I don't know what it is, why you look so good, girl. Or, hey, buddy, you look awesome. What are you taking? Or, hey, I noticed that you've been doing something online. What is it that you're doing? And be able to simply and confidently share, I have an amazing, amazing product. I have an amazing opportunity that's changed my life. It's changing my family's life. And it could change yours too. So I wanted to go back that you can always be that spark event in somebody else's story. So take that and apply that today. Show up online, take action, hit the record button. I promise you, going back to what we first talked about, the more opportunity that we have to face our fears, the more we do it, the more momentum and repetitions we get to do, and the more opportunity we get to have results. So with that, I'm closing my presentation time. I'm gonna go ahead and pause and open some time for Q&A. We're here at the top of the hour, but thank you again for being here with me today. I'm so excited for your future. I'm so excited to see what you're going to do with your brand story and how you're going to touch people's lives ultimately. I'll pass it on to you, Claudia, for a moment.
Very good. Okay, let me just give you a super applause on everybody's behalf and show of hands that we love that presentation, or a heart or a thumbs up. I see some of the messages coming in from Paula and some of the people, but I do want to give the heads up. The first to ask questions to our beautiful platinum and ask the questions. And let me just go over the chat as well and see. We're going to do 2 questions from other people because we always start 10 minutes, so we finish 10 minutes. So Gabby, go ahead while I read the chat. It's your mic.
Melanie, thank you so much. I loved every minute of it, really. And I think we really have some value here with everything you taught us. And I wrote down, and I also took pictures, if you don't mind, of your what you were showing. But I did like that you said how you show up for yourself is your brand. And basically, if we talk from the heart about why we love and why we're doing this business. And this morning I was talking to Claudia, and you know, she knows that when I do my Zoom calls, I love to focus on product. And my husband likes to focus on the opportunity. So, I mean, so Claudia knows when I'm going to talk, it's about product. It's about how to expand our business, how to promote our products through our experiences through our product. And I mean, I can tell you just for myself what every product has done for me. And that's why I can't live without any of these products. So anyways, thank you so much. It was a valuable for me. And for me to have value, I mean, you did it exceptional. Exceptional. I took a lot from this training. Thank you. Go ahead, Claudia.
Thank you, Gabby. And to think that Melanie actually started falling in love with her life 15 years ago, and that it takes a seed to plant a seed, because it took my sister to fall in love with her life and get one person like Melanie to really bring it home and bring it home to me and say, you know what? Yeah, I really do want to do for life. So you never know where you're planting. And so I want to also give somebody a chance live. Let me see who. Yeah. So Melanie, one of the things I had asked you was to share with us your Instagram, and Raul is reminding me of that. So yes, Raul, she's going to write it on the chat. So she's going to write it. And sure, also, if you want to hire her to do your personal branding, she's, you know, a very experienced young woman, very, very beautiful. She does really a great job. But here's the thing, a lot of the people that need to market themselves, she does so much free content on her Instagram. It's incredible. So make sure, number one, that we give back love by liking her Instagram, following her, liking anything that you like, but read it carefully. There's so much on what she gave us already on her Instagram. So because she is like what we call a for life baby, I'd love for us to support her as well with that algorithm. So today, go in, like her Instagram, go in, make some comments, say, I love the presentation that you did for us today. Just make sure that you move the algorithm for her as well, because you obviously all know that it's all about algorithm. Now, the next thing is I'm looking for somebody that wants to go live with her. Let me see. Yeah, Mel put her. I see that Rosanna wrote something that says, you bring tears to my eyes. What a great job you do. So I know Rosanna doesn't have a question, but Rosanna, I kind of got like, why did she create that emotion in you? And so Rosanna, are you still there? And if you are, why? And that is branding. Like, why is Melanie making an effect on Rosanna, which is what she says, like, if you're making an effect on people, you are your brand. So Rosanna, are you there? Let me just unmute everybody so that you can all take off your own mics. Here we go.
Yes,
Rosanna?
I'm here. Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Claudia. Oh, I'm so happy just listening. Melanie, and I can tell you one thing. I really don't know what she touched in my heart, but being such a young person, and she has years experience in the way that she talks, and she can teach us to us. We that many times has been for a long time like me have been learning and learning and learning, and I still cannot find a way to make my story, to build my story. And she in such a short time and with beautiful words that she used, she just like talking to you in the backyard of your house. This is so beautiful. I say I will follow her wherever she goes, definitely.
Thank you, Rosanna.
That is so sweet.
To be here with you. It truly
Thank
is.
you. Thank you so much for your heart and your love.
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for. So thank you.
Very
Thank
good. So
you.
closing, I'd like to see if there's anybody else that has a question or that wants to thank her because they got great value from today's masterclass. Okay, so Trisha, how about you, since you are the rising star of our team? And when I say team, I mean for life in general. Trisha has made diamond, for those of you that don't know, Trisha has made Diamond Elite in 2 months, which is something we all want for our teams and for our people. So Trisha, question for you, then Paula, then we can close.
Thank you so much, Claudia. Thank you, Melanie, for this amazing training. My teenage daughter was also listening in and taking notes. She's asking about your background in AI because she'd love to learn. So how would we get started if we wanted to learn AI?
That's such a great question. So one thing about me, and I had to choose a few stories, but one of my stories is that, and I want to share it with you all today, and I want your daughter to listen to it too, is that you can do whatever you set your mind to, quite literally. And Trisha, you're an example of that, and for your daughter too. And so for her, you get to teach yourself. So what I do today is 100% self-taught. So to share with you, I have not finished my bachelor's degree. Why? Why did I not finish it? I'm still taking my classes, but I didn't need to finish it because I was able to quite literally teach myself everything. I've worked with very, very large tech companies. I've consulted with marketing teams of over 10 to 15 people with no degree. So I want you to take a moment to understand that you can do anything, quite literally. So with AI specifically, I started reading about it and I started learning on my own. So I went on YouTube. I started taking courses. I started truly, number one, investing in myself, investing in what I wanted to learn, because I said, okay, I want to go there, but what's stopping me? Sometimes same thing with selling. I want to sell or I want to learn AI, and quite literally, I can't get there because I don't know how. So the first step on my journey of my AI journey was really understanding the how. How can I learn? So I'm going to be sending you, Trisha, some resources that she can get started on working that helped me in my journey and to be able to grow and learn into the AI knowledge. This is 4 years ago, but to really invest in myself and start learning. But it all started with YouTube and also books and courses. So I'll send those your way so you can start learning too. And then number 2 was finding a mentor or an opportunity, right? It's the same thing, quite literally. So finding a mentor that could help me in that. So I'm happy to also talk to her about AI journey and be that guide for her. But finding opportunity for me in my journey looked like quite literally talking to people who were already in AI. So this was a long time ago, not that many people. So I started going on LinkedIn and I started messaging people, hey, I would love to talk about AI. I'm learning AI myself. And that led to ultimately in 2020 when the pandemic, or it was 2019, before the pandemic, that I found a job, a role where I went into the AI field. And on that call, I said to them, I'm 100% self-taught, but I will always learn more and I will learn fast. So just showing up and being able to say, hey, you know what? Take a chance on me, take an opportunity on me, because I will show you what I have, right? And so you get to do the same thing. You don't have to have a singular line that you have to go into computer science or tech. That's very helpful, and I've learned that on my own time. But you get to also do that for yourself, and then the opportunity will come and you will be able to say, this is what I know and this is what I can offer you. Do you want to take a chance on me? And they took a chance on me. And that full year, I worked in a startup company focused around AI, learned the back end, learned how to build it. And here we are 3 years later, where the world is going crazy about AI. So I'm excited for you and your journey. What is your daughter's name?
My name is Shali.
I couldn't quite hear it.
My name is Shali.
Oh no, I can't hear.
Her name is Shali.
Shali. Oh, it's so nice to meet you, Shali. And it's a pleasure to help you in your AI journey. You can start now. And AI, like, I just learned about it 4 years ago. Imagine 10 years where you can go with AI, and it's just gonna keep growing. And it doesn't have to be a negative thing. You get to learn some really cool stuff about technology. So Trisha, I'll be following up with you and we can touch base offline too, and some resources to help her out.
Thank you, Melanie.
Of
Thank you
course,
so much.
absolutely.
Very good. And wow, you see now she has a mentor. She's about maybe 7 or 8, Trisha. You can write that on the chat while I give Paula the last question. But that's one thing I do know, you can never start too young. Like if she wants to learn AI, by 15, she can be doing, because just like Rosanna said, she's so young and she's teaching us. And that's what she's always done for me anyway, like since forever, which is we learn from the new generations. So that's what we need to do. So I'm sure that Trisha's daughter, she'll be giving very soon, it can be 6 months or a year, the next mentorship. So, you know, that's how young they're getting. Paula, last question for you. Where did you go?
I'm right here. Hi.
Hi, Paula.
It's not really a question. I just want to thank you, because a lot of times we're so scared of not being professional, of not being creative, of not, you know, being responsible, you know, that we want everything. I'm talking about myself, want everything to be perfect. It's right time, right place. And this guy that you gave me was like mind blowing. Like, thank you so much. You make it so much easier. And I will be fine.
Awesome. Thank you, Paula. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you were able to take something away and ultimately put it into action today. Again, I'll encourage you with that and close out with that. Do something today that scares you. Go online, write somebody, show up, but it doesn't have to be perfect, because the more times you do it, you're gonna get better. I promise.
Thank you. So for those of you that speak Spanish, which are maybe half of this group, she is doing this same presentation in Spanish in a couple of hours, about 3 hours. So we're very excited. Make sure that you bring your Spanish teams or prospects to it, because it's so good to learn about this. We're over the time, but Elena kind of raised her hand at the end. So Helena, if it's a short question or comment, and we're closing.
Yes, a comment. Yes,
Go
a comment.
ahead,
I want
Elena.
to say thank you
ahead.
very much, because she's also doing it in Spanish, and we need to inspire a lot of people. And she's young and she's amazing, and I really appreciate what she's doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elena.
Thank you, Helena. Yes, we are doing it in Spanish, but we also know that there's so much in Spanish and we have so little in English. So I do thank her, especially give her a big heart, because it is in the English market that we also need a lot of tools, a lot of knowledgeable presenters like her. So it will be on YouTube on the AIM channel, which is Ambassadors in Motion channel. And so I'll be posting it on the group. It takes a couple of hours to upload. So by the end of the night, you will have it. I'm still owing Omar last week's also. So that's why I'm a little behind. I was in Colombia. I got here 48 hours ago. So I'm kind of catching up, guys. So thank you, Dave and Gabi. The Zoom is not the same. It's not the same. Mentor Monday, this is the same link every Monday. For the Spanish is a different link. So going to davedaughtry.com. Thank you, JT. And JT is also posting that link. But if you go into the calendar, you go on a clickable link and we will see you in, well, you can see it depending on the country you're in. For Africa, it'll be very late. But I hope you got a lot, and we thank you for being here today. Melanie is going to give us the page. She's going to call Trisha. She's going to make a video for us because there was so much more that she wanted to talk about, and it's never going to be enough time. But we're going to invite her if she has the time to be with us next month or 6 weeks. I don't know when she can give us another one. So just don't worry. Keep learning. Apply it to what you need to apply. What you did, what you got today, and what you got for the whole month from all of the trainers was brand, personal brand, product brand, knowledge, who you are. Just review everything from the past month. What a great opportunity to grow our business. Thank you so much. Can we have her on a Tuesday in April? Yeah, that would be a good idea, Omar. I'm going to talk to her for the evening ones. So that's for sure. So that way we can repeat the same one, but for the evening people. So thank you so much. And yeah, Omar, good thumbs up. Okay, bye-bye, everybody. Thank you. I'm closing the room and you can take off your mics to say hi to Melanie and to thank her.
Thank you,
being here.
Melanie.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Melanie. Thank you, Claudia, Abby, Dave. Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody.
everyone.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.